Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for the TDSB Parents and Caregivers as Partners Conference 2022. Our session today is Libraries as Partners in Student Growth, Exploration, and Learning. My name is Kate Stevenson, and I'm a Senior Services Specialist with the Children's Services Department at Toronto Public Library.
Hi everyone, I'm Teresa Lang. I'm also a Senior Services Specialist, but in the Youth Services Department at the Toronto Public Library. And with that said, I guess we can get started. So before we begin, I do want to say a land acknowledgement statement. We would like to acknowledge that this meeting is situated upon traditional territories. These territories include the Wendat, the Anishinaabeg Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the Mississaugas of the New Credit, and the Métis Nation. I'd also like to recognize the enduring presence of Aboriginal peoples on this land. And I also want to mention that all of Toronto Public Library branches are also situated on traditional lands, on very similar traditional lands as the ones that we mentioned just now. And I will pass it on to Kate.
So Toronto Public Library is the busiest urban public library system in the world. Every year we have millions of users visiting our branches and taking advantage of our online services. We empower Torontonians to thrive in the digital age and the global knowledge economy. With expanded access to technology, lifelong learning, and diverse cultural and leisure experiences, Torontonians have increased opportunities for growth and success, as well as stronger connections to each other and their communities. There are 100 branches across the city that offer free access to books, programs, online resources, and much more. And on this slide, you can see a map of all the public libraries across Toronto. There's lots in each neighborhood. Most neighborhoods have a branch located very close to them, which is great. And most of our branches are open Monday to Friday, 9 to 8:30, Saturdays 9 to 5, and Sundays 1:30 to 5. And our online services like ebooks and databases are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Next slide. So how do you get access to all these resources? You need a library card. Cards are free if you live, work, go to school, or own property in Toronto. You just need current name and address ID to get one at a library branch. Adults and teens, 13 plus, who live in Toronto can register for a digital access card that provides full access to digital resources and services, except those limited to in-branch use. And this card is valid for 12 months and can be renewed online. If you're experiencing homelessness or are precariously housed, you're eligible for a library card that will allow you to borrow up to 5 items at a time, as well as have access to library computers. And in June 2022, we were thrilled to announce that Toronto Public Library has permanently ended late fines for everyone, which removes a barrier to access and makes the library more welcoming, which means that if you had overdue fines prior to June 2022, those have been removed from your card. Yay. Next slide. At TPL, there are 5 main service pillars that encompass all of the library's services: welcoming spaces, access to content in all forms, lifelong learning, cultural and recreational programs, access to current and emerging technologies, and helpful expert support. And these service pillars stem from the library's core values, including literacy and fostering a love of reading, easy access to lifelong learning and skills development to succeed in all areas of life, innovation, creativity, and connections, connecting individuals to one another and fostering a culture of creating, as well as efficient and excellent customer service. And our mission for students specifically is to support healthy development, offer safe and welcoming spaces for exploration, and to encourage growth through learning. Next slide.
Perfect. So you might be thinking, why the library? Aren't we just books? And hopefully from that little introduction from Kate, you're understanding that, we're not. Books are a big part of what the library is, but we're definitely much more than that. And as it pertains to students, as you know, everybody is different and learns differently. So I believe that the library is the perfect place to support students with their individualized learning needs. And how, might you say? Well, first of all, libraries are safe and welcoming spaces for students to explore their identities and interests. You're not judged by what types of books or resources you check out. And when you think of library staff, you don't think of them as intimidating or threatening in any way. We also offer a multitude of books and resources on a wide range of topics and from various different points of view. So this allows students to discover their own opinions, their own identities, and they're able to find themselves and be themselves. Another example is that we offer diverse and varied resources. And just to give an example of how that meets individual needs, I was once tutoring a kid who had ADHD and she was having difficulty just concentrating and reading the assigned class novel. I knew it wasn't, based on her reading capabilities because she loved to devour graphic novels. And so what did we do? We went to the library and we looked for other mediums for all of that book. We found audiobook versions, we found a graphic novel version, and that really allowed her to just get into the novel and, love the novel. So just being able to access this range of the different versions of even just the same book caters to the individual needs, individual learning needs, and that's only possible at the library. I'll give one last example. We all know that since the pandemic, we've discovered that while some students thrive better in an online learning environment, others need that social aspect to learning and group work to grow. And so the library offers that choice for students, whether it's online videos for students to learn independently or attending programs where they meet and learn from others. The library offers relevant learning opportunities for students, increasing the number of ways for them to engage in various forms of learning. And so all of our services, programs, resources ultimately support the healthy growth and development of students, like Kate mentioned. And you can rest assured that we do follow that because they are guided by research and consultations that we have done that have formed a lot of our frameworks. So including our middle childhood framework, as well as our youth services strategy.
TPL has so much to offer you and your family, but for this presentation, we wanted to highlight 5 types of resources that the library has that can support you and your children this school year and beyond. We have accessible resources, diverse resources, lots of programs, homework help, and volunteer opportunities. And you can find a summary of resources geared towards teachers, parents, and caregivers on our Resources for Teachers and Parents page, which is located at tpl.ca/teachers. Next slide. TPL offers multimodal collections that provide alternative resources for students. This reduces barriers to literacy, creating inclusion and increasing student engagement in course materials. The collections meet students' unique and individual learning needs. Children and youth are undergoing dramatic changes in their cognitive, emotional, social, and physical development. They're developing independence and social skills, and accessible resources ensure an equal opportunity for all students to access materials and develop a love of reading and learning. This also aligns with the TDSB goals of transforming student learning and building strong relationships to support student learning. Some examples of accessible materials and resources offered at TPL include graphic novels, read-along books, audiobooks, dual language texts, dyslexia-friendly readers, and Braille. At North York Central Branch, we have the IBI collection for young people with disabilities. And TPL also has a partnership with the Center for Equitable Library Access, which provides books and other materials to people with print disabilities. Next slide. One new resource we'd really like to highlight is called My Visit to Toronto Public Library, a social story for everyone. It's available on our website at tpl.ca/kids. A social story is a learning tool that describes a new experience or a specific situation. The story can help everyone, including children with disabilities and children who are deaf, become more familiar with the library ahead of their visit. This is also a great tool for kids who have anxiety about new experiences so that they know what to expect before they go somewhere. And the story is available in multiple accessible formats and prepares kids for a visit to the library. Next slide.
Perfect. So next up, we have diverse resources. The Toronto Public Library offers a diverse range of resources, and there's lots of research that shows that this is important for learning. But please allow me to paint a picture for you of why it's important. So I don't know about you, but I love to eat and I love to try new places to eat. And whenever I check out a new restaurant or takeout place, I always make sure to obviously go to Google Maps, figure out directions, but I'm also combing through reviews. I check out their posts, their description, their pictures, so that I'm better prepared with what to order. I love spicy things, so I like to understand looking for reviews from other people of other cultures to know if I can handle the spice. And with all of this information, I'm able to have a better understanding of the place based on all of the experiences and perspectives of other people. Similarly, books can be that tool to help students navigate and feel prepared when they're venturing into new stages in their lives. Students can gain experiences without having to live through it themselves, and knowing, maybe the author is similar to them in background or upbringing as them lets them know that they can handle the spice. So definitely there's tons of diverse resources we have, and I just want to highlight some specific notable offerings, including our dedicated collections like our IBI collection for young people with disabilities, like Kate mentioned, our Rita Cox Black and Caribbean Heritage Collection, our Native Peoples Collection, as well as our Proud Collection. Many of them focus on historical and cultural experiences and narratives of the respective groups, with a special emphasis on Canadian content. We also have topical book lists curated by staff that can help foster and navigate discussions on different topics. So whether it's, getting your child mentally ready for back to school or wanting to navigate more challenging topics like consent or mental health, we have topical book lists for you to navigate those issues and discussions. I'll pass it along to Kate now.
So TPL offers a wide range of programming for all ages, including programs relevant to the different stages of development. Our Ready for Reading Storytime programs provide early literacy support for birth to age 5, helping parents to build important pre-reading skills with their children. Our programs for school-age children and teens complement school curriculum. Attendance is typically self-directed and interest-driven. Our programs are designed to instill curiosity, critical thinking skills, and a lifelong love of learning. They align with TDSB goals to transform student learning and build strong relationships to support student learning. Our after-school clubs are for ages 6 to 12, which are offered at branches across the city as well as online. The clubs align with the TPL Middle School, a Childhood Framework, a research-based approach to nurturing healthy development in children as they transition into independent and self-reliant learners. All of our services, collections, program spaces, and technology for middle childhood are filtered through 3 service pillars: the joy of reading, learning, literacy and learning, and fun and play. After-school clubs at TPL are weekly, and they operate on the same day every week at the same time throughout the school year. And they support children with enriched out-of-school environments and high-quality, consistent programs that focus on interest-driven learning and discovery, which we hopefully will result in happy, resilient children and lifelong library users and supporters. Staff select various themes for their after-school clubs with the input of participants, and there's been a focus on offering more STEM-focused programs, for instance, robotics and circuitry, science experiments, and building challenges. For ages 13 to 18, we have youth hubs, which are a welcoming place for teens after school and in the summer, where helpful staff are always available. The youth hubs are a drop-in space at the library where teens can study, chat with friends, use technology, or take part in activities such as arts and crafts, gaming, and lots of other activities. Our librarians are available to provide school support, lead programs, and connect teens with community resources. Free nutritious snacks are offered daily, and the teens have access to laptops, iPads, and additional tech to use in the space. There's currently 23 youth hubs across the city. Poetry Saved Our Lives workshops are for youth ages 13 to 18, and they're all about writing, creating, and collaborating both out loud and on the page. Poetry Saved Our Lives workshops encourage and empower youth to be real, express their views and emotions, tell their own story, and unpack personal experiences. These hands-on workshops provide an amazing opportunity for youth to work directly with a coach to develop writing, poetry, or stories. And for parents, we also have the Raising Confidence Kids Workshop, which is a series of online workshops for parents and caregivers on topical subjects. Recordings are available on the TPL Crowdcast channel and include topics such as early literacy for new parents, helping kids thrive online, and learning math through your child's eyes. Next slide.
Cool, thanks, Kate. Next off, we do want to talk about our homework help resources. The library offers a variety of resources to help students with their homework. And while you may quickly equate that with tutoring, and clearly, just to clarify, we do have that, it's so much more than that. We have study space and tools for students to do their assignments and projects after school. And we have resources like databases that are trustworthy and reliable. Of our resources, I do want to highlight 3 of them. First is the Leading to Reading program, which is a free service and allows students in grades 1 to 6 who are reading and writing below their grade level to be paired with a volunteer and work one-on-one to get them more comfortable and confident in reading. The sessions are fun and engaging with the goal of building children's confidence and motivation in reading. And it happens at various library branches, so feel free to check out the link on our website for more details about that. Another resource I do want to highlight is our very popular online tutoring platform, BrainFuse, that is available free with a valid Toronto Public Library card. They offer online homework help for students from kindergarten to grade 12, daily from 2 to 11 p.m., and in all subject areas, from English to math, science to French. We'll also drop the link to this resource in the chat in just a bit. And finally, I want to emphasize the many trustworthy and reliable scholarly databases we offer for students. In this day and age where misinformation is rampant, I've held workshops and classes where students are finding it difficult to know how to figure out, if the information they're researching is dependable and credible. So our databases are curated from our expert e-resources librarians, and they ensure that they have articles, essays, and information that comes from credible sources. And so the students don't have to question where the information is coming from. They know, without a doubt that it's trustworthy information and that it's information that their teachers want. So not only do we have different databases compared to the ones offered from the TDSB, this allows students to access those additional sources for their homework needs. And these are also free with a Toronto Public Library card. And finally, last but not least, we do want to highlight our volunteering opportunities at the library. And I know Kate and many of my colleagues have worked with many student volunteers over the years, and we just can't count the number of times where we've seen volunteers come back and tell us how much their volunteer experience has helped them to grow and gain skills needed for, whether it's a scholarship or a school application, or just helping them to understand, what type of career path they want to take. And so seeing them grow and genuinely want to give back to the community is always super inspiring because, kids are our future. So I do want to highlight 2 volunteer opportunities for students. And they include the Leading to Reading program, which we previously talked about, but also teen councils. So you may already know about the Leading to Reading program, but specifically to become a volunteer for the program, students just need to be older than grade 6 and be committed and willing to work with another child once a week for about a year. It's a great program to develop mentorship skills, and it's perfect for students that are interested in working with children in their future career plans. The other opportunity for teens is the teen councils. which are when teens have the opportunity to meet in a group with other teens. They attend monthly meetings and collaborate on group projects. They are regularly consulted by library staff to help make recommendations to library programs, services, spaces, and just so much more. And they're encouraged to become ambassadors for the library. They receive various types of training through this experience, including leadership training, accessibility training, and just overall are given opportunities to build on soft skills like communication, team building, and so much more. Both of these programs only happen at certain library branch locations. So if you do know any students that are interested in volunteering, please be sure to check out the website, which again, we'll drop in the chat to find out if your local library branch offers these volunteer opportunities.
So with schools, libraries, and parents and caregivers working together to support students, the impact is significant. Supporting them collaboratively and holistically, we can see better student engagement and success, improved literacy levels, improved transitions into adulthood, and improved interaction and understanding of the unique needs of students. So thank you for joining us today. We are out of time, but we do have a few minutes still. If you'd like to ask any questions, you can just pop them into the chat.
Yeah, and all of those resources that we talked about today, they're again found in the Resources for Teachers and Parents website, which can be found on the Toronto Public Library, tpl.ca. And if you go under Using the Library, it's under Teachers and Parents. And yeah, it just sort of highlights all the types of books, homework help, online tools, and resources that are great for students. So whether it's homework help, books and book lists, reading lists, French materials, online activities, as well as those resources for specific groups of students. Yeah, you can feel free to check this website out. Are there any questions at all? You like there was a lot of information, but that's okay. You're more than welcome to contact us at our respective email addresses, but yeah. Cool. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, thanks very much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your day.